Hello, delightful people, heroes of this century, in truth. How are you? Today I'm talking a little bit about the status quo. The emissaries have given me an update on what their perception of where we are is. So I'll share that with you on the other side. So I asked them about what situation we're in. Where are we at the moment? Because I haven't got too early to swear. I have not a clue where we are at the moment. I really don't know. It's very hard to read where we are. I don't know how you feel about this, but kind of like nothing. There's no narrative. There's clearly a narrative that they're spinning, but there's nothing solid that you can point your finger at. It's all, yeah. So I wanted to know from them what their perception of where we are is. And they said everything is fitting perfectly into the plan. Okay? And they said, and I've never heard them use this expression, they said, everything is poised perfectly so that soon the hammer will fall. Right, so we're in metaphor world here. Soon the hammer will fall and the cards will be placed on the table. Right, so I had two. This is that's what obviously that's what my mind translated as the message I wanted to give. The hammer is about to fall and the cards are about to be put on the table. So I said to them, that's very nice, but can you give me something more tangible, please? Metaphors are great, but I just can't tell them that. Yeah, hammer's about to fall, cards are going to be on the table. What does that mean? What they said was that they said we've already mentioned that this year is a fundamental year in the revelation of things, and they said this year, next year, and the year after, just to let you know it's ongoing. This revelation is ongoing. But they said at the moment the baddies are starting to be uncovered. But even though they're starting to be uncovered, they're still hiding behind masks. The mask of the change of the climate, the mask of government and stuff like that. They're still hiding behind that. But they said that very soon, this is the cards on the table, very soon they are going to be unmasked completely. They're going to be shown for exactly what they are. The reality of it, which God only knows what's going to happen then. God only knows. So, what they said was that, stuff's coming out. We're in the revelation. We're in the period of revelation. Stuff's coming out, but it isn't out in truth. It's kind of like a perception of what's happening. What they said is that there will be an outing. If only, like a lovely outing. I really could do with a spiritual outing, but this is not going to be a spiritual outing. There's going to be an outing of these people, the baddies. Then they said, but don't think that when the baddies are laid bare, literally laid bare, we can see everything, don't think that they're going to back down. Okay, which is an interesting I was thinking, well, once they're laid bare, that's it, it's the end of it. They said no, they will not back down. In fact, what will happen is that when they are laid bare, they have nothing then left to lose, and so they will behave in exactly the way that we would expect them to behave as we see them. We see them for the full baddies that they are, and they will behave that way. And so they said when they're found out, they will respond. Their word, respond. And I said, well, will it be violent, this response of theirs? And they said, well, the only thing that they have to offer is fear. That is their only response. They only have one thing, which is fear. And so that's what they're going to use to respond. However, what the emissary said was that when that happens, that is when it's time for everybody who's awakened to this, and obviously if they're going to be exposed fully, then many people are going to be awakened, that it's our time to withdraw our energy from them, to withdraw our attention from them. And they said it's going to be difficult because they're going to be exposed, and so they're going to have a lot of attention. They're going to get much more attention than they need to have. And obviously we know that what you resist persists, and where your attention goes, energy flows, okay? So we've got to very, very quickly get beyond that and not want to look at the monster dying. And the emissaries are saying, as they said right from the very beginning when I first started channeling them, we must turn our face away from them. And I think we can start that now. I mean, I'm seeing great conversations happening with people who were saying, are we being duped? Like, these stories that we're being given, is, how much of it is even true? And I listened to that Scotsman with the long hair on GB News. Can't remember his name now. Boy, he was talking about being part of it, literally the audience of a show, a theatre show, and that the lights are coming up and we're starting to see. It was a beautiful metaphor. And that's exactly where we are. That everything is being shown up for what it is. Everything is being called out. This is where we are. And it's only going to get worse. Or better, depending on how you look at it. But I think what we have to do is we have to already begin to turn our face away from it. I noticed that the channels that I'm on, they're really pissing me off. They're just so effing miserable and so fearful. It's really getting on my nerves. And I think it's, remember, where did they get the information from? Well, who do you think they get the information from? Who's feeding the truth movement? The same people who are feeding every movement and every news outlet. The same people. So we've got to take everything with a pinch of salt and get used to turning our face away from them now. So I think what we should do, because we're in the, we've got to lead the way. We've got to stop giving them any attention now. Attention with our words, talking about them, and I'm just as guilty as everybody else. That doesn't mean that we're going to pretend that they don't exist. And no, it's kind of like it's a disinterest. That's kind of what it is. It's I'm not going to give them fear anymore. And just believe that 90% of the stuff is not believable anyway. And that stops you from being fearful when you think, hang on a minute, it's probably just a bloody lie. Just a made up stuff. So, there you have it. The hammer is about to fall and the cards are about to be placed on the table face up. Let's see what that means, and so let's see how that rolls out. All exciting stuff. Stay tuned for the next episode in This Fucking Crazy Life. Okay, I love you all. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.